games. Look, we're currently in the semis in the upper bracket, and so far, Grayhound, they came out of the gates real damn good on that CT side. Things got a little bit slow. Encore got a little bit of momentum back. I think they ended up stringing together like close to 10 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
But then, of course, Grayhound managed to make it happen. Either way, we got a second map to get into, so let's jump straight on into Ancient.
Yeah, I don't really think that Encore were pressured too much when it did come over to map number 1. The resultant scoreline for those that just joined us, 16-10 there. We're now coming towards map number 2, which is going to be the choice of a Grayhound. So one would expect them to be able to get kicking nice and early. They've got some pretty good scorelines recently against 0-0 Nation when they had their stint in the Pro League. They did get dumpstered by Ninjas in Pajamas, but if you do remember that series, you know, we were able to come back and win that one. So it was not bad at the end of the day.
Well, looks like we are going to see Grayhound attempting to move towards the B side. Liazz, the take point here. Well, we find a fully fight. Well, the cave control looks good for the moment. Sicko going to be able to trade on the Liki there, and things start to slow down, but Sterling has a tiny little one-way over the side of the stairs there, and now that's going to be numbers on the retake.
See what they can do with it, though. Bit of shots, bit of damage to come on out. Grayhound, all they need to do is hold Encore off. Flashbang utilized. Liazz to take out Versa to bring it into the 3 versus 3. But the wrap around at the moment from Savage, they're not expecting this one. Sicko's already quite low. 8 HP gets removed. And it's all on to Ins. He's going to reveal himself as well, but Sterling shuts him down. The kit is claimed, and Encore, they will find the pistol here to start us off on Ancient.
There you go. A much better start than what we had in the first map before Encore. And of course, I believe, you know, you heard as well that Savage is, of course, IGLing. So on the CT side of Ancient, it's a place where Encore have been a fair few times. I think they had a very convincing win on it yesterday. So we'll see if they can get off to a red hot start. Grayhound, of course, need to get something happening here on the T side. But with that plant, you see him forcing straight into round number 2.
Yeah, as you said, pretty good map win yesterday against the Eliminators. It was a 10-5 half where the CT side provided us the 10 from Encore. So we'll be able to see if they can reenact that come this instance right now. We do have the force up, though, from Grayhound. Good opening shots from Sicko down to 35. Wouldn't mind him getting rid of the Galil to a teammate, but when your teammates also find some kills, that being Vexite with 2, this probably goes from bad to worse for Encore, and this probably looks maybe irrecoverable.
Liazz on that lurk as well. Going to be able to pick up Savage. And then, of course, Versa, he's just tucked away in the house there, making his way in towards CT. Trying to maybe get himself some kind of damage onto Liazz. Maybe try to get that M4 back. Org Gamer, huh? What's going on here, Versa? I've seen a few people recently be pretty damn sharp with the thing, but
yeah,
still it's still a questionable thing in my eyes.
I think it's just preference. You know, if you favor the Org or the Krieg more than the AK or the M4s, I think, you know, if you want to do that and you can make it sing, sure. But, you know, majority of this player base that we see in Counter-Strike has, you know, figured out the, quote, right guns to use. It's not to say that, you know, those guns don't have a place, right? If you've got those really long lines of sight, they can be pretty powerful. Remember to dust 2 days, as we see Versa hold down the fort with 2 to take the gun into the next round. So there you go. It has its benefits. It also has its, you know, bad things.
Yeah.
And we'll see that now, where it'll probably just be the best weapon that Encore will be having in their possession. Bit of a force up from the lads as Grayhound are able to take away the second one.
Should put Encore in a pretty rough position. Versa, of course, with the only scope in hand, is just going to be controlling mid again. Grayhound, a bit of noise made over towards B, trying to fake that exit. Silence in a main as they creep their way forward, and Savage has got himself on the boost here. Just trying to find an angle with a 5-7, so we'll see what he's going to be able to do.
It's not a bad location to be able to hold it, that's for sure. But you're the only member of your team over at the A side of things. You want to be finding 2 kills at least. If you've got the stack over towards B, I think for Encore, you kind of don't want to reveal that you've got that stack at B. If you can get Grayhound to go in for a bit of an execute, you can throw a spanner in the works. You can look to upset Greyhounds. Flash in and peek. yields no CT info. But now that AUG has been heard, Mac, does that give Grayhound an idea that it's a no-go zone?
There's that range, the angle, favoring Savage with Ali real damn close to the corner. But Liazz, of course, good spacing for the trade. Things might get a little bit harder. As you can see, Encore, full rotation, 3 members in from the CT side. And, oh, there's a good amount of space as well. That's a very open plant, a dangerous one, but the smoke has provided enough cover to get it down.
There's a HE grenade for Liazz as well, in case anyone of Encore actually manages to get onto it. Sicko spotted out going to the big box. Got Liazz up on the plat too. See how it folds for Encore. And it might just be that. Call for the save. No kit. No time.
Yeah, no money in the next round. So 4 of these weapons getting carried across is going to feel pretty good. Give themselves a fighting chance, knowing that that retake was going to be a very costly one. Liki falls. That's going to be the Mac 10 as well. And Vexite just farming up the dollary doos. The incident on this lurk. That line was so damn good, but Hatz able to react just in time. Versa as well, ready from the swing in from CT side. And Sicko unable to find anything right at the end of the round there. But look, a second round in the bag. Nice and early on the T side for Grayhound. That's a cracker of a start.
Yeah, especially after losing the pistol round as well. You know, you start to build up a little bit of your own economy. Vexite has the lion's share before his buy. So, yeah, that's going to dip on down. But Liazz still has a pretty good number. And Vexite's actually going to be going for the Mac 10. So playing money, man. Not a bad idea. You know, Encore haven't been able to figure out their own economy at the moment on the back of that save where damage was delivered. They are only really playing with what they saved. You've got a Famous there for Hatz too. That AUG for Versa. Sterling with the Galil. A couple of pistols. Vexite rather, going for a challenge. And he's been CSGO'd. Molotov did not get extinguished by his smoke. He has 1G'd himself.
Yeah, having a little bit of fun. And Savage, just full sneaky. Not going to be showing at all. He's got a world of info.
Oh, my lord.
And he's just trying to tell the rest of the boys exactly what to do here. He might even be able to get himself a double knife. In what world? Oh, decides to go for the AK instead. I love the thought. The process was perfect, but Ali is like the fastest reactor to any of those sounds. If you try and shoot him in the side of the head, he's the one that's jumping, doing bloody 7 360s, and you can't hit him.
You got to remember as well, in that situation, you want to be getting the non-AWPer first because it's harder generally for them to swing on a dime. If they miss the shot, you've got another chance there. You can see the process of what Savage was trying to do, but at the end of the day, it's exactly as you say, aliStair's too damn quick. And the round goes over towards Grayhound. Best
case scenario, of course. Got the knife money. Yeah. Maybe you could have done more financial damage, but you know that P2K wasn't doing too much at that range anyway.
Well, here's an idea.
Let's have a look-see. Grayhound just going to be trying to work this map control early. Big flash, lining Liazz up for the opening. And Savage now dropping the A main control means Versus out on a damn island here at default.
Yeah, you get that knife kill in the previous round. You get some good confidence, but it kind of pulls away from what you've been able to actually achieve in your next round where you've got those weapons.
Yeah.
And Sterling has stayed on the line a little bit too long. 22 points of HP. He's the one with all that util for Encore as well, so you probably don't want to be seeing any more risk from him. It's, and hopefully I don't get yelled at for this. It's something that I got some ears on previously from an Encore member, family member, with Savage being the IGL for those out there that didn't know that currently. He's trying to position Sterling with a little bit more freedom, get him on a little bit of a different style with this AWP.
Just like those.
Yeah, I think if he's taking a couple of risks and he's being uncharacteristic, right? If it pays off, if he gets the experience here, it just levels him up, which is pretty good.
The new era of Sterling. You love to see it. Versa, unfortunately, unable to bring it to that 2v3. And you can see it's probably just the save from here. Try to put that AWP somewhere to have some impact in the next. And Vexite already hard on the hunt. He knows exactly what Encore are doing here. And Grayhound should have locked down a fourth, but we'll see if they can lock down all these weapons as well.
Yeah, T side of Ancient nonetheless as well. If you can really start to find your momentum, it can be quite difficult to come back on that CT side. I just really, you know, for the Counter-Strike fan of me, again, I don't really want to see this map be completely one-sided, right? I want to see it close. I want to see it going tip for tap. That's a bit of an advantage for aliStair. And now it's just Versa with the AK. See if you can hold it.
Well played. Versa doing a great job here as the super sub. Slotting in pretty nicely so far. Let's see. Oh, living, and he'll make it right into the next round. I thought that corner was getting pre-fired, but it just barely got missed by the movement inaccuracy. And now into the 6th we go. Grayhound, 4 in a row. Pretty happy with their start on the T side here.
Yeah, I was just bringing up a little bit of the digits here. It's the T side that has been the stronger side for Grayhound when it does come to Ancient as well. Over for Encore, you know, for our solo dolo result so far, it was, you know, pretty split for them.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, the 10 CT sided rounds, and then they got the 6 that they needed to close it. So a little bit more meat to this map when it does come onto Grayhound, and they're following with their history in this T side nice and early on. What the mid crunch can do at the moment. Versa with that gun, the only gun for Encore, has been taken down, but maybe it is just the Deagles that provide a little bit more damage.
Sharp shot there from Hatz, straight from the top of mid. And Grayhound now just, you know, regrouping, looking like they are just going to shift back towards the B site, but look at the blue dots on that mini-map moving as well. All 4 already across towards that B side also. So it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath here, and that's a great way to kick things off. Savage getting aggressive, fighting the header ins. But nothing more to follow from it.
Yeah. There's still 2 members, though. Playing a little back. It's Sterling with the AK-47, and he's gotten the advantage yet again for Encore. Ali on the line. The swing out from Vexite. The damage is enough to get the trades, and now it's all bait. See if you can draw a shot in from aliStair. Wait for your teammate in Hatz to come up and assist you in the mix. 30 seconds to go. They're going to hear that.
Yeah, Hatz has heard everything. Are they going to cheat it, or do they think he's going for the rapid lane? They're holding their ground here. Liki. Okay, they're splitting up. This could be a dangerous decision, but you can see Liki's damn close already, shifting forward. He's cut the sound of the nice moment, and elbow gets spotted. Ali knows he's close and has to decide where he wants to go. Looks like he's aware that Liki's waiting for something.
This is an AWP, remember.
Distance created as well. It's pretty damn good. He's just waiting for a wrap towards that box side. It'll all boil down to the timing. Liki going to be spotted with his back against the wall, but it's a whiffed one. And again, Ali hasn't missed many shots today, but that one certainly could be costly. Taps coming through, flicks there as well, and Hatz, gets off it, but unfortunately a little too late. Ali, he definitely makes up for that first missed shot with 2 big kills and a beautiful looking clutch there for Grayhound.
The difference a kit would actually make for Encore as well in that situation, right? Because the 5-second mark on that defuse is gone. And it would have been done and dusted. It would have been enough time from that first missed shot. It would have been a head in your hands moment that you've lost an eco, but it's not the case here this time. Grayhound pulled through a big old round for Ali. Continuing over from his, you know, spectacular performance on Nuke, right? So if he's able to keep on going, that'd be good. We can't say the same for Inns, however. Still on the donut. It's Sterling, though, at the moment, who's providing a bit of good sugar for us over at B.
Insane couple of shots coming through there. Liki looked like he was hunting for that extra AK in the smoke, but you can see there it's right in front of Vexite as well, who's hunting for an angle through that smoke. And now with the 2-man disadvantage, Grayhound in a bit of a pickle.
A deficit that we've seen them win, though. Remember, Mac, Nuke, 3 versus 5. They're able to pull it back. It's a cheeky start. Inns on the board onto Savage down yonder. That's over at the donut, funnily enough.
Angle. Sterling spots the jump across and is ready for Ali to get put on that line as well. Great attempt from Grayhound to try and get some kind of prio on the angle, but unfortunately, Sterling feeling it right now. 3 kills for the round already. On for the ace, but I don't think he'll find it unless Versa can't hold the Inns. Ooh, sharp as nails, and that's going to be the A site cracked open.
Yeah, but where do you look to plant? You've got no smoke coverage at the moment. Inns has to take a bit of a forward position. There's a flank that'll be coming from Liki. The other 2 Encore members will be boasting a retake from CT, and it is going to be that donut plant, so we'll see if they're going to be able to hold it. Vexite's got a Molotov, and he's going to use it early. Oh, and he's trying to bait out position by mollying donut too. Let's see how it works.
Well, Liki, huge flank comes through. Now In's in a 1v3 angle, trying to do it one better than what Ali did before. And that barrel is going to be spotted. Sterling knows exactly In's position, swings him, lines him up. And that was a beautiful retake coming through from Encore. So great patience, great info, and great communication, as you could see from the coordination there. Second secured, but they still are chasing Grayhound. 5 on the T side. I don't know if that's enough yet.
Look, probably not, given by the history that we've seen from Grayhound with some great T-sided leads, from Encore being able to put up 10 on the CT side for themselves yesterday, and then, you know, they get that switch up and only needed a couple more to be able to get the victory in the end. So I think, you know, from both sides, they're kind of on their strong suit side at the moment, right? So it kind of does just come down to bettering your opponent, and so far we've seen Grayhound be just stronger in that regard. We'll see if that has hit their plateau, though, with Encore finally getting on the board, finally getting some good rhythm and momentum, some good positioning around the map at the moment for them as well. A little bit more forward to the cave is Inz. See if he can cheat himself a kill or two, which he manages to do so quite swiftly.
Big bit of damage, and Encore, their chance in this round has just gone real south real quick. Vexite now just waiting for the rest of the util to roll through as he tries to lock down that cave control, but Grayhound not fully committing yet. Just waiting for some kind of aggression, expecting Encore to try and retake mid.
They need to be careful, though, Grayhound. If they overstay their welcome in mid, it could provide Encore a way back into the round.
Yeah.
If you give Sterling as well, who's got some great individual confidence at the moment, a free kill, yeah, he's probably going to be called to go in for this. Savage will position him nicely, and they can get a retake happening. A single flashbang in mid, though, does give Grayhound a bit of an idea that it might actually be that mid-control retake that you were talking about, Mac.
Nice open plant coming through. And Encore definitely not going to think about the retake unless someone from Grayhound goes a little too far forward. There's that info. And the slow peek back in. Really feel it himself, but now he's feeling a shot from that AWP straight through the shoulder. But even with that pick, you can see Encore, they're happy with the financial damage, and they are just going to be thinking about their own economy. So falling back to A, Grayhound secure a 6th. And Encore with 3 surviving should be able to drop across a gun to Liki. Hatz as well with 2,200 in the bank. And a bit of a round loss bonus. Should be pretty good to get a good bomb.
Very scarce to see a team attempt a retake when the bomb's planted and you get a kill between 5 and 10 seconds when it's already ticked away. You know, when you got your players in through mid, you've got 20 seconds essentially to get a retake happening, and it takes you half of that to get back over towards the site. So just a nice little pad starter at the end of the round for Sterling with the kill. Doesn't toy with the economy too much of Grayhound. And we'll get a similar sort of round, one might expect, with all the weaponry here. See who's able to find the opening kill. See if it's going to be Encore to be able to make something of this CT side. Or if it's going to be Grayhound to make it 7, and then they'll be 1 away from at least securing the half.
Oh, nice molly. And boosting up over the smoke has caught everyone off guard there. Sicko did not see it coming. I like that little maneuver.
Very cheeky. But you reveal something like that nice and early, and always comes back to the once bitten, twice shy position, right? Probably not going to be able to see Encore use that for a little bit of time, and it's actually provided a gap because they've peeled away forces from mid. Inz has been able to find Sterling, and now with this util starting to come down to the A side, Ali's going to cop a big old bink. But is that all a ruse? Inz is still lurking in mid, and you've kind of got Vexite starting to toy with the idea of pushing up to Cheetah.
Ooh, Sharpies. And there goes Versa. And maybe the round in the hands of Grayhound, but you can see actually low. Inz within an inch of his life. Liazz now down to 40. There is still a world where this works, and Encore might think about going for it if Hatz can find a timing onto Liazz here. Or Inz, rather.
Yeah.
Who I thought was dead because he's on only 3 points of health here.
And Ali got binked as well, right? So that's communication to the Encore lads that there's a couple of members that are relatively low, but it is that similar situation where you still haven't gotten into mid. You've got about 10 seconds that ticks away from the bomb already. You just can't, you know, you can't give yourself into a retake. So it will be the 7th round for Grayhound. Once again, very nice start to a map. I like that. If anyone's going for a save, you'd molly them out.
Does it hit though?
He missed it.
Yeah.
But it does land in the cubby.
Mm.
He just needed to go a smidge to the left.
Cheeky attempt though.
Yeah. Usually you would see that, you know, backed up by like a HE grenade if anyone's playing at the back of the square over at B. Because you get the Molotov for insta damage, force them out. If they're not holding a smoke, then they get a little bit bamboozled. So it's usually one of those scare tactics as well. It's always nice to have a cheeky bit of utility like that in your arsenal. Because if you've got your team like Grayhound, if they're going for a B execute and they've got mid control, that's where that Molotov is actually extremely powerful because it'll force the CT to peel out of the cubby and go for a challenge that they probably weren't ready for. Some cheeky tech for everybody at home.
Yeah. Throw it in the arsenal. Well, let's see what's going down here. He's trying to bait out attention with the jump peek. Gets Ali on that line towards long. He's offline as well. Savage pretty happy with his position. Sterling rather. As Hatz is just going to be spammed down that smoke, doing no wonders for him at all.
Molotov as well bounced off the corner, the slanted wall, so it went a little bit deeper. But Sterling's going to be rewarded by finding aliStair. And in the 4 versus 4, utility is certainly favoring Encore at the moment. As long as they're holding these extremities, they should be pretty good for a third one, would expect. As Grayhound starts to move the bomb, is In's going towards mid or is he going towards A? It's currently where Savage is with an AWP. So it is a double deployment for Encore this time around.
I really like this position from Versa. Just a nice, tight off angle. Trying to help out that donut player, but it is all going to change up. Flash over the top there from Liki, I believe. And with that, Versa tried to get a little bit of extra info. Encore want to try to stay proactive here.
Yeah, but look at this. 30 seconds to go, and Encore, with the information they've gathered in mid, they've started to cheat an early rotate towards the A side. This is going to look to be a pretty good hold for Encore, though a bit of a whiffed one out from Liki. It's just damage on towards Liazz, and now they can look to get Savage off this line to get a plant, but it's a good flick. It's all on to Ins. Can he get this duel? Can he win this one? He cannot. Things go from bad to worse. Savage is doing what he needs to do in this round, Matt. Okay. And he's just going to close it with 4.
Just stands there like an absolute turret, just spinning around, connecting onto everything. I thought it was Sterling. UI, of course, you know, wasn't updating for a moment there. I thought it was Sterling. Looked at the kill feed, and it was just Savage, Stonks, bloody rising there. Big 4K to lock down a third for Encore. But the question now that I'm asking is it enough? Grayhound already with 7 on the T side.
Yeah, that might have been the round where Encore's able to siphon a bit of gas from Grayhound's tank, steal it, and propel themselves a little bit further forward. We'll see if it can change up because Savage is just quickly on it. He's certainly had a couple of different roles in his time. I mean, I've had a good chat to him once upon a time. He's always wanted to be an AWP player, but he's never been in a team to be the primary AWPer, right? Especially now when you got Sterling on your roster, make good use of him if you're now on the IGL department. So he's dipping his toes in all these different waters.
He's the boss man, so he can just say, guys, we're playing double AWP. I'm the second AWP. You know, what you gonna do about it, huh?
Correct, yeah.
Let's just win now. And look, it's worked for 1 round, 1.5 rounds. Let's see what Grayhound do from the man down position at the minute mark here.
Yeah, might just look to be an execute in towards the B site. When you get some cheater cave control, you look to get some deeper smokes and then maybe just try to clear angles with the flashes that you've got. Yeah, Grayhound certainly do have the utility to be able to work something like that at the moment, and the time to come out with a bit of a contingency plan if things do go a little bit awry in the early stages. But 50 seconds, 40 seconds by the time these smokes fade to get on in. See if they can clear.
Flash through. And Liki ready for Liazz to be tucked into the corner there. That's going to be the bomb as well. If they do get aggressive, Grayhound could be in trouble. And Liki's still fully expecting it. He hears those footsteps coming, and angles found from Liazz. Gets the gun out just in time. And Sterling right out in the open. Still going to be able to pick off one. Vexlight close to trade, and Hatz can't find it through the gap either. So Grayhound, they were a man down, but now they've got the 2-man advantage. Vexlight taking the head off of Versa, and Savage is just looking to keep the AWP alive into the next round. But that'll be 8 secured now for Grayhound.
Yeah. It started with Savage in this round with the opener, and it looks like it's going to end with him to save this AWP, though Vexlight's on a bit of a hunt. This is the point in time in the round where everyone, if you peek your eyes to the economy of Encore, they don't have too much cash. They're going to get a little bit of loss bonus here. It's probably going to tip the scales into a half buy to support the AWP more so than a force buy, because if you're looking at this round and you're looking to force if you're Encore, you're losing that. You're losing to 9 to 10 rounds against Grayhound, who now have kind of forced you into a bit of a different scenario, right? Because they removed that AWP. So I would probably be expecting a half buy from Encore if they actually decide for a full force. It's a very risky gamble.
Yeah. But aren't all gambles, you know?
Yes, they're all risky. Unless
Crazy.
it's someone else's money, then do whatever you want with it.
Insane. I would not give that advice to anyone, but look, you do you. By the way, Smoke nice and early over toward the lane side. Grayhound looking to lock it down and maybe even go for this mid split. Molly into the cave. Liazz just getting aggro. And oh, this mid pressure from Encore has not been able to do too much yet. They've got the map control, but yeah, Grayhound happy just to let that clock tick down.
Yeah, you do have to be careful if you are Encore, going for a mid stack, albeit it is pistols. If you're relinquishing control completely of one of these bomb sites and Grayhound get any sniff that it is free territory, they're definitely going to look to claim it. So one of these rounds, we kind of just see what damage Encore can actually do.
Oh, angle. Found from Inns. And Liki certainly didn't see that one coming. Let's see if Hatz can get some revenge. Tight line. Finds that first shot. Gets that second.
Okay.
The man's feeling it. That's a clip. 3 big digs. But is it enough to get the round? It certainly should be on paper. But Liazz, he's trying to turn the tides of the narrative here. Smoke towards that donut side. And Ali just waiting for the repeat from Sterling. Molly's forced him out, but still living on 60.
Yeah, the wind is in Hatz sails at the moment. See if he can continue with this. Hatz is currently at the donut with the stolen AK. Let's give him one to Versa.
Might just flood straight through as well. Aggressive plant. Sterling can't quite spot that. I think he's seen that knee through the flames in the end. And Ali focus fully. Won't be able to hit the flick. It's Liazz to deal with Sterling. But it's down to Ali again. Man's been sharp in the clutches. Close range. No scope onto Savage. And Hatz as well. Just going for the spam, the tap. And looking to bait out aliStair's position. Shadow's there, but the shot's not. And Ali, he'll fall. So, Hatz's work was not all for nothing. Picked up the 4K in the end. And a big eco round coming through from Encore.
Yeah, that is a fantastic round to come through from them. Individual brilliance from Hatz. 3 big bangers with the deagle. And then the last frag as well to seal the deal on the round. Encore, they steal one, which they didn't have the right investments in to begin with. But hey, you know, again, when you need someone to step up, if they're able to deliver, you get some confidence, you get a round, you get some rhythm. You know, Encore can make something of this half. They can get to 7 here from what we've seen so far.
Slowing down again. Grayhound just running all the paces to try and get any form of map control here. Cave going to be smoked off, and Hatz happy to refresh it.
For Encore at the moment, you do have a little bit more utility that you can throw down to keep Grayhound at bay. You've got to be trying to force their utility out as well. Force them to gather some control. If Grayhound want cheetah, you know, they're going to have to use a smoke or a molly to try and do so. Bit of spam through the wall. That's actually not bad damage from Hatz. Inns down to 9, Vexite on 35. If you can get a free trade out from Encore, that's, you know, Hatz's damage done and delivered. But you start to see these rotations from Encore towards the B site to cover off the gaps. A smoke deployed from Savage at A. He's kind of been the sole provider of the A side defense for Encore time and time again. And now that Vexite has been taken out, it's going to equalize. But there is that gap in mid. What can Liazz try to do to upset Versa, if at all? His position's probably going to turn into the later flank. Will Encore expect that?
It's going to be a 2v3 on the B site. And Sterling feeling quite sharp. Happy to go toe-to-toe with Inns on the AWP there. And now Siko's got another of his own. But Liazz, the timing was pretty damn good. And he might be able to shift in on the flank here. No time to rotate. It has to be B now. Sicko showing his face. Liazz going to be able to activate behind that first pick and just draw attention to allow the rest of the members from Grayhound to make their way to site. Liki wants to try to stop that plant. Sterling going forward. The spam, it's not going to be able to connect, and the plant will get secured. Liki, the spam no good. Sterling baited out by that elbow. And Ali in a very rough position to play from. But the offline, I thought he was looking in a cave, but he refocused to short instead. And the post plant crumbles. That's going to be 5 secured now. Great retake from Encore.
Yeah, absolutely. Liazz's position only good for 1 at the end. Sterling not baited out to take a shot. He's really coming into his prime in this one again at the moment. You got Savage there as well, chipping in. You got Liki getting a couple of kills. So everybody on Encore putting in for a piece of the action. And even though, as I mentioned, right, Hatz's damage a little bit earlier on, he still got the damage to soften up Encore, making things a little bit better. So 5 achieved for Encore, putting Grayhound in a potential state of duress. Now, again, I kind of want to mention the fact that Grayhound have probably done enough come their T-side, right? 8 rounds, you've secured the half, you're probably still happy. But the fashion in which Encore is actually starting to mount this retake in, if they can transition that to their T-side approach, that's where things get a little bit scary on this scoreline mark.
Grayhound happy to play a loud game in here at Cheetah. Just fishing for anything in the smoke, but Hatz, the A1S is going to strike that much harder. Sterling able to pick him off and get himself some confidence frags as that bomb gets spotted over towards ramp side. Liazz falls and they know exactly where the fight is. Sicko, an opportunity. We'll pick up that one with the triple tag onto Versa, and he's living for now. But gets past Savage, who's dropped the sitter, but he picks it up with that secondary instead. USP kills taste pretty damn sweet, and that's going to be the final round of the half now, 8-6.
Here's the funny thing as well. The double orb deployment from Encore has been pretty brutal, right? Grayhound haven't been able to push them against it. So is that a recipe that, you know, is of their devise, right? We know Sterling, how sensational he can be on the AWP. We know that Savage has wanted to be an AWPer time and time again. Now mentioning into that secondary AWP right now, certainly is covering off a lot of angles where required. Happy enough to be the sole provider over at A. Now he's going to be backed up by Versa at least. But here's the thing, right? Grayhound get full mid control. Encore don't want a piece of it. How long off the clock do you let it tick before you look towards your spawn? And now's that time. Liki's starting to rotate over, but he's got 2 members in the house that he has to be prepared for.
Well, let's see how long these smokes last. Liki, sharp as nails. Just ready for that aggression from Sicko. We'll see if that second wave through Ali works at all, but Versa, he's stricken for a few, and that's going to slow things down as well. Savage chimes in. It's all up to Liazz now, who's got his mitts on the bomb, but I don't think it's going to be a round in the bag for him. 1v4 angle. And flashes continuing to rain on through, but Encore looking just to stay in positions to play off one another.
Would certainly be a monumentous clip from Liazz here if he can pull this one off.
This movement. We'll be able to isolate that first one. Cops a bullet in the torso, so that's sent him down to 41 points of health, and now you can see just how passive Savage is playing it. Happy to play for the retake. Doesn't matter if he gets that bomb plant because you know it is the last round of the half, and it's the offline from Sterling to close it in through Donut. And that's going to be 8-7 at the half. Ladies and gents, we'll be back with the second half just after this. welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to IEM Dallas 2023 online qualifier, closed qualifier, in fact, for Oceania. Grayhound currently leading at the half, 8-7 here on map number 2. They're already one map up, and it looks like Encore are not waiting for anyone. A faster approach towards that B site.
Might be the closed quals, but the doors are certainly not closed for anybody here, except maybe the Encore members, as their location, their strategy, and their plan has been teared up. That is certain. 3 members swiftly made an example of. Make that 4, and it's all on to Sterling, who can't get a piece of the action either. A really quick pistol round that we thought Encore were going to be coming out with Mac, but it's Grayhound that say no.
Well, I don't know if we thought that. We definitely said
it was
Encore
quick.
needed it to get off on the right foot. And this time it has not gone right at all, it seems.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where if you've got a plan on the C side, you know, you kind of got to expect a plan on your CTs as well. Grayhound aren't a team to generally let things just happen and play a default on the pistols. It's usually good of a pistol strategy. So for Grayhound to steam in through mid, have a couple of members on the B side itself as well, kind of played into the hands, or rather Encore played into their hands. Freshie Encore are going to be pivoting over to the A side of things. The position of Hatz is not overlooked at the moment. Inns is still going to be looking after that one with a Sicko. Start to fade, they'll find him. This is Glocks, however, for Encore, remember, as well.
Ali taking his time to line that one up. Free money. And Savage playing a sneaky, beaky game in that smoke. Liazz, the only one watching it. But he has managed to thread the needle to some extent. But he's going to be caught with a knife out in Donut. So, Mans is in trouble. Give him one at best here, but not even that. In's just hopping at him. And Grayhound showing no respect. So, they are really feeling themselves at the moment.
When you have a knife and a donut, you're either cutting it in half to share it with friends or, you know, get the gooey goodness, right? Now we get... Maybe that's what it's all been about.
I like the idea, but I don't think I've ever cut a donut in half. And if I ever see anyone cut a donut in half, I think they're weird because they just ruined the point of a donut.
But what if you know, one of those bougie donuts from like Daniel's Donuts or something like that, and you piled 12 of them and you're cutting in half to share? No?
Nah.
Oh,
don't like it.
You're not living.
If you missed out on the flavour you want, you've just missed out. Look, that's just a
fair
enough.
Okay.
Sharing's
caring.
Let's see.
You can do with their lesser equipped guys right now. Yeah. MP9, UMP, cheeky boost out from Hatz. Light utility for Encore as well. Just a touch remaining for 1 minute and 15. No real space gathered either for Encore, as the smokes have provided a bit of a brick wall behind Grayhound. They're really going forward. This puts these submachine guns into good position. Good. Wow.
Potential round now for Encore. Oh, but Liazz not quite done just yet. And this one could go hurting. That's looking pretty good for Liki there, and Liazz and Vexite, they're running the wrong direction, which means they're saving. So, there you have it.
Yeah,
2v4. Ooh, a bit of money in the bank. I reckon Grayhound looking pretty good for the next round. But Encore, that's a good sign for them to pick up a round with 4 alive.
I minded Vexite looking for an exit kill. You know, if he can get that and take away an AK, it'll be pretty cool. If he survives with this, we know that an AWP can, you know, come in the next couple of rounds for Grayhound as well. So we'll see what damage that they're going to at least be able to. Next round when they're... because they will be going in for the buy, of course. And the MP9, look, with a lot of utility, he can get himself the kit as well. It's not bad. He can drop over a weapon if anyone's looking for a bit of a donation, like maybe Sicko would be. Just wait for the buy to come on through for the side of Grayhound. Yeah, Sicko to get that MP9. Of course, no AWP at the moment. A little bit later for the lads, but a tactical time out. The side of Encore.
Yeah, you can see that
yarn.
Savage was having a bit of a yarn at the end of that round. Just looking in all kinds of places, knife out, having a quick old discussion. Let's see if anything's going to be going down here into round 19. Grayhound still 2-round lead, but looking to make it 3 with a few more guns on the board. Liazz, of course, has the AK in hand and can do some insane kind of damage if he gets himself into a good position. But let's have a look at where Grayhound decide that they want to go.
Quick util in mid from Liki. See if they're going to be able to capitalize on that, because by timing, Liazz can already get in front of it. A good exchanging of util, a heavy exchanging of util rather, from Grayhound in mid, just to provide Liazz a pedestal to potentially find a kill onto the Encore members. Look at how much is just dumped down by Grayhound. It's all going to come down to the rifle action pretty quick at AMAC.
Smashing their way through. Ali just using this smoke as a tiny bit of cover. Nice off angle. Oh, and he's looked that little bit too low. Reveals his hand. Savage shoots right back, and it's looking good until it's not for Grayhound. Backside as well, trying to force his way through the smoke. Sicko trying to keep it chaotic. He's going to be able to get that trade, get the upgrade, and as he falls away, he won't find safety. He has now 36 points of health, being a little bit sneaky. But it looks like that is all she wrote in the round. It's ticked away a fair bit, but with that smoke on the bomb, there's an opportunity. Liazz not tapping though, looking for kill, and now with that one, there is a chance. Ins wanting to go for the ninja, will get the kill, and there's time to defuse with a kit on the belt as well. Well played retake, bringing it right.
Oh,
whoa, what?
We've been lied to by the HUD.
I've been HUD'd. I've been completely HUD'd.
We've HUD'd.
Mate, that's
like, yeah.
Haven't seen that before, and it got me. It got me damn good, that did. Either way.
Because I actually thought by timing, you know, Hatz played that wrong, right? I 100% thought that he could have waited a second or two before spraying, potentially, because there was time for the defuse. Probably not. Apparently, there was no time for the defuse. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go indeed. Well, what do we got coming through here? What's cooking, good looking, and all the rest of it?
Not a buy for Greyhounds, that's for sure. This is looking to be a tied scoreline at 10-10, unless we see us come out for Greyhound on the pistols. Actually, just looking across the kill marks as well, and you got a lot more like on the side of Greyhound. You got Sterling and Savage putting up some numbers for Encore. You got, you know, 3 yet to achieve double digits, but the rounds that they're winning, they're making sure that they're doing so without too much needed. It's not bad.
Let's see what Liazz is able to do. Not a lot, probably. But does more than he's taken. Sterling as well gets peppered down by the pistols. And Encore just backing away, saying, not today, not just yet. As Greyhound now try to cheat these rotations in through mid, in through donut, and try to stack A. But as that's happening, bit of noise, bit of util is going to be used towards that lane side. And Greyhound might just go for the full lap back to B.
Yeah, I'm wondering what Encore are looking to turn up with in this one. Because they're using a lot of utility to clear a lot of these corners. Just a probable stack on one of these sites. So they do just kind of need to be a little bit careful that they don't allow Greyhound to get in on the other side of the map and then rotate accordingly to be able to just problems, which so far Greyhound is starting to rotate.
Big damage coming through there from Encore, and the round where we thought they might have needed to be worried about is well navigated, and we got a 10-10 scoreline. So Encore coming swiftly back into the game as Greyhound having a quick stock take of that economy are just going to be buying up into round 21 as well.
Yeah, this is what I made mention to a little bit earlier, right? Where we were getting 8 rounds on the T side from Greyhound, and we're thinking, all right, if Encore can get 7, you know, it starts to be all right. Pistol rounds, we get Greyhound starting to look all right. They get a little bit in front, and then all it takes is 1. And I think that 1 has been achieved from Encore now that they've figured out what they need to be doing not just on the tail end of their CT side at half to get things close, but to carry that momentum, carry that information over. They've applied that to their T side now to equalize us up nice and early. So they're even able to reset Grayhound relatively soon. Light util, there's a Famous in play. Ali does have the AWP, but we can say the same for Sterling. Encore, a large amount of utility as well. You just don't want to be the soldier who loses their life first in this one. You don't want to give the opposing team a tantalizing prospect to find 11, especially if your Greyhounds now have been waiting for a little bit for a round.
Yep. Trying to sneak their way in through cave. They're knocking on the door, and Vexite's in a dangerous position to have some util out. In's not going to be able to wait for a flash either. Has to just go dry, and that's not worked out for him. Vexite thinking about going forward, smoke towards cave side. Two of the Encore members isolated now, but with the numbers disadvantage, Grayhound trying to figure out how to get back in. This is going to be the spam through. Versa spots that boost up. Liazz gets his head taken right off his shoulders, and that's the instant save call. Sicko backing away. That is Encore taking the lead for the first time in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to go back through. It's the first time they've taken the lead, actually. Besides, actually, no, they had it after the pistol round. Yep. They got the Does that count? I guess technically. Technically it counts, yeah. Well placed, though, for sure. For Encore, that's 11 now. 3 guns surviving for Grayhound, which means we're going to see some investment into the next round for them. Maybe some donated Famous. Get some util up as well. I actually wouldn't mind a scenario where Grayhound calls for a timeout here, just to have that extra time to go in for a good decision. Maybe they don't need it if they don't take one. Inns is only getting the CZ, so they might just look to hold off all of their util and money here to see if they do win this round, that they've got enough in the next with the loss bonus to go in with a pretty comfortable buy. So a potential stacking of the rifles towards the map. And if they go to the pistols and the MP9 and Liazz, well, then so be it. It's unfortunate. But it does actually look like they're going to force this thin Greyhound. So see what information they can get nice and early on of what Encore are going to be delivering.
Everyone just cutting sound for the moment. Trying to slowly work this lane control. You can see that Liki's contacting in towards that cave side. Sterling pre-scoped, boosted up as well. Gets the line at mid. He drops that molly to flush out the corners. And ooh, Ali's gone in dry, very wide on that re-peak, and that's cost him his life. But he takes one with him.
That gun, though, is not recoverable, Mac. That's a bit of a problem because that was a big one for Greyhound. No util either. You wanted to be able to have the weight of an AWP that Encore still had to think about distance. Now they don't have to worry about it. $30 seconds.
Inns is going on a bit of an exploration. He hears this util coming, and he might call Vexite across, but Sicko has the weapon that needs to connect, and Inns has found a perfect timing for cave control. Flank starting to come through. Sterling too. Not quite focused on the flank just yet. It's going to be Vexite falling, and here's an opportunity, but Inns wants that little bit more. Gets real damn close. Maybe too close for comfort. With the AWP in hand, is going to give it a red hot crack. But waiting for this rotation through from Liazz. He's got the AK in hand, which was dropped earlier at mid. That's going to find some impact. CZ pulled out, has to be reloaded, and Liki's got too slow on that refrag. But either way, he's gotten that ramp control. I thought he was going to fall. But Liazz swinging damn wide. Oh, they both whiffed. Knife out. Not going to go for the reload. Liazz wins it in the final moments. But with no kit, there's no chance at a defuse and no chance at a round. Encore securing 12 now.
You want to talk as well? I was a kid right next to Liazz when he whiffed spray where his fallen comrade was at the back of sight. It was Sicko, I think, that had it and died with it.
Look,
that's actually rough.
The other thing as well is, you know, I was looking at the UI, just keeping a close eye on it just to see. Because we got baited before, and I was like, we're getting
Yeah.
baited again. And even if he got that kit, I don't know if he had the 5 seconds. That's why.
Yeah, look, probably not. Probably not. But it would have been a nice thing to have, regardless, in your mind, to see if you had a little bit of extra time. You know, when your teammate potentially says there's a kit, and you're trying to go in for the retake, and you hit that spray, then you got the kit, and you got the defuse. But that spray gets awkward, it gets away from you. Then there's no bueno. Encore with 12. Great spray, though, from Ins. Liki is bleeding. No bandages for that wound here.
Nice reaction with that util. You can see that they were ready for that spam to come through. Versa now going to get chunked away at as well. Just such a powerful spam. Powerful wallbang. And relatively safe as well while those smokes are up. But for the moment, you can see I think there was some util juggled across there. Just keep Ins smoked off over towards lane side.
I actually like this decision making from Grayhound at the moment, and playing the 3-1-1, playing on the deeper AWP line. If any of the Encore members walk in towards the A side, it would be aliStair first contact unless they smoke him off at short. So not a bad idea from them, but now that they've kind of reassessed the situation and moved a couple of their forces around, there's a lot of pressure on Vexa and Liazz here at this A side. Ins is starting to make his rotation with a good place incendiary. It could help the situation.
Vexite not going to be mollied out. He's going to be mollied straight into this crossfire. Versa up on boost side, and Liazz knows he can duck into that smoke at any given point when he wants to. Drop comes through on the fade. Liazz takes contact. Vexite trying to figure out which way to swing. Goes around the backside. Big setup, big hold. And Hatz, look, this lurk is going to have absolutely no impact. Ali lines him up, catches a nasty timing, and that's going to be an 11th, which Grayhound, look, at this point, I'm going to say desperately needed because Encore have so much momentum at the moment.
No, absolutely. I mean, you look at what we were seeing previously, right? It was the first 2 rounds of this half that Grayhound were able to find. And then it was 4 in a row to put us at 10-11 with Encore being able to get that lead. It's 12 that Encore found, so it's 5 in a row. And then finally we get Grayhound getting that 11th. So they're able to get a CT-sided gun round, most importantly, which is something we were lacking. But Mac...
Liazz just hit them with some sideways hops there, able to find a 3rd out of bloody nowhere. And Vexite comes through for a few juicy eco frags of his own.
What I was
going
to say,
that is going to be 12-12, so a very quick round.
Yeah, what I was going to say, and actually finally find a gun round, and all the damage that they did in the previous ones put the eco onto Encore, so an immediate stop and cushioning of a round to re-equalize.
Well, let's see what's going down into round 25 here. Looks like Encore going to send a few more members towards a main and try to get in a bit earlier, but Grayhound, they've left A open completely. Full presence at B, at mid, and just fully expecting Encore not to go for anything too quick on that A side of the map.
Big grouping, though, from the Encore members. 3 waiting to see if there's any extension out from Grayhound. If there's any peek at the box, Liazz is going to get up on top of the sign. And Versa, his head. Liazz is removed. Vexite, is he the next one to go for it? But it's the trade.
Usually the sharpest at holding those kind of shots, but this time Vexite bites off more than he can chew. And now we're a man down for Greyhounds. So Encore throw some fake util, get smoked off, and draw a lot of attention, but
yeah,
just cuts down, slow down, and see if they can regroup at mid instead.
It'd be very interesting to see if Liki was thrown a smoke actually here, because if he's playing lurk over at the B side of the map and he had a bit of extra util from his teammates, he could sell a fake towards the B side and draw rotations away from Greyhound, where if Encore decide to continue to go in towards A, would have 2 of the Greyhound members playing at the donut, and it could be a little bit awkward for a challenge. And it's Ali with an AWP. Oh lord, this is scary.
Dangerous prospect. And Ali, he hears those footsteps running away. Has he caught them? No, hasn't gone through. Decides against it. Now we're going to see Encore try to flood into B. Nice little pop flash forward. Sicko. Big kills. Nice spray. Off the back of the timing of that pop flash. And stops that bomb from being planted with enough time to secure the round as well. Bit of insult to injury. Take Adversary out before the timer hit 0. And there you have it. Greyhound back in the lead, 13-12.
Always got to protect your booty when you're going for a plant. That pillar, it can provide a little bit of cover, but if your legs are sticking out, it'll deny. Quite unfortunate. A timeout called by Encore yet again. And one of those situations where they've got a player advantage as well, right? In the middle of it. A 4 versus 3. It was good spray from Grayhound to be able to get a bit of extra damage. And that denial of the plant was pretty much the nail in the coffin. But one of those situations as well, right? Where I mentioned if Encore want to put majority of their forces over towards A, might not be bad to have a sort of plan of action of trying to actually sell a fake over at one of the other sides, one of the other bomb sides, because we haven't really seen, you know, any fake attempts with all the utility, right? So
Yeah.
it's something that isn't tested by any of these teams in this current map.
What's going on here? Encore looking like they are going to pick that pace up towards the B side with a couple of techies. That molly timing, the nade as well, very damn good. And you can see this molly over towards lane as well. So Encore forced to just slow it down. They've even invested that smoke onto the molly to stop the aggression coming through from Inti.
The pistols for Encore. Can turn it up with his flash on in.
There's the banger. Backside in the good position of frag. 30 in the clip. Only gets to use about half of them. And Sicko doesn't get that opportunity to really shoot back. Safe plant from Versa as well on the side there of the pillar. And has the isolated fights as well. Ali slides one onto Versa. And Savage tucked away, hiding, waiting for the perfect time to strike. But that's never going to come. So he's got to go forward straight into the crosshair of Ins there. Molly forces him to fight, although he probably thought that was going to rebound on him. By the way, 14 to 12 now. Grayhound looking like they're very close to making this a 2-0 affair for this first semi.
Yeah, it's 4 rounds in a row now from Grayhound, isn't it? So Encore, when we praise them for the 5 that they've been able to attribute to their name, Greyhounds finally figure out what their CT side needs to do. Nice opening kills early on. Some good grouping. Some good denial of Encore. Yes, I guess that was just the pistols to kind of come through, and they did lose a couple of numbers, but a round is a round, specifically at the nth hour as well, when you're looking to find series point on the back of this one.
Big
There is a free open A bomb site though, Mac.
Yeah, I've been doing that a lot though, because usually you'd have that donut player that can hear everything, so you know that the T's aren't going to rush, they're going to go real slow, and Grayhound are chancing it. But they've also got Ali on a very deep line here with the orb, missed opportunity. Nice little maneuver in towards that donut side, rather than the wide swing from Encore. Keeps them alive for the moment, and Ali's just waiting for one person to overstep their welcome, and that's going to be Versa.
Very interesting that there was no smoke deployed. Sterling was the only one that had one, and they left it open. Versa has been hard done by his team.
What to expect now. Man advantage for Grayhound on the retake. Triple retake setup from donut side. You've got Ints as well with a flash at the ready for this flood from Grayhound. But are they going to leave it too late? In comes that trickle smoke, but Liki ready, not going to be blinded. Then they're just going to be able to stand, find 3 out of nowhere. Molly as well chiming in there from Savage. And this is an unsuccessful retake.
Yeah.
The most unsuccessful retake I think we've seen from Grayhound all series. As 4 survive. 3 survive from Encore there.
No, 100% agree with you in that one. That was a pretty sensational hold from Encore. And now one of the differences when we get CS2 in a situation like that, HE grenades onto some smokes, that's where things are going to get spicy. But this is not CS2. This is CSGO. And this could go to some overtime, or it could go to a 16-14 if Encore are able to gather this one. Not full utility for Grayhound, but enough to still provide you a couple of nice bits of information to off-put your opponents.
Yeah. Well, a slower approach and more respect from Grayhound this time, not just leaving A completely open. Liazz, very aggressive. And he's hurt a lot. Sicko just keeps on going for the old jump spot here over towards the ramp side. But Encore, expecting Grayhound to make a move.
Not bad from Encore, though. If they're waiting back and they're letting Grayhound waste a bit of this utility, make it easier to go for an execute a little bit later on. There's a forbidden territory in mid, it would seem, from both of these teams at the moment, as things do start to go towards the A site for Encore. What util do we have for Grayhound over at B? Sicko's there with Nada. You got Vexite with a HE and a smoke to buy some time to get some damage to make these M4s a little bit more powerful. Finish off your opponents quickly. Same can be said for Ins. We'll see with the 40 seconds what Greyhounds can do to try and make this series point.
Greyhound just straight up playing sites. They've left that middle of the map completely open and no one's even worried about it. Encore haven't been super proactive through that mid pressure, and now you're going to see this one-pronged approach up ramp side and looking for a timing to swing off. Crossfire's there. In's going to be able to take that contact, but Savage real damn good with the spray transfer. Takes the head off the two players' shoulders as Liazz looks for a timing, finds the first and expects the swing from default. Versa baited out, but he's living on 3. And now it's all down to Ali in this 1v2 angle. And I think he's made a bit of noise as well, coming from that CT position. Versa happy to drop the smoke.
He's got a HE. It could finish both of them off if he bowls it correctly, Mac.
Oh, well, he's gone for the close one. I'm expecting someone playing close to the square there, but it's not going to be happening. And there you have it, Encore securing a 14th. It was costly. It was brawly. And Greyhound, look at their money as well. Sicko not going to be able to buy too much. Vexite, similar position. Going all the way into the 29th. And
yeah, this buy.
But Encore all fall. They got money, though.
Yeah, they've got money. Greyhounds, what are we looking like? aliStair's going to be the donator, of course. Ins and Liazz, they probably have to fend for themselves here, and Vexite and Sicko to get the donations. And I think that's where you would get, you know, a pretty scaled buy on comparison to what Encore are going to have. They've got the time out to be able to do the math as well. So this is, you know, a very important round, right? You don't want to be the team that loses to 15 first. You have to be the team to get that. And I think if you're Encore, you probably are a little bit hungrier from the comeback, from being on the back foot in this series. If you're able to get that 15th first and you reset the economy of Greyhound, essentially, that should be 16.
What have Encore got for us? 4 men. Smashing it to lane side. Versa throwing a little bit of util at mid to try and draw attention, but this time it might just be the lane bust. The lane pincer from Greyhound. You can see Liazz already straight down mid, up the stairs, and just drawing attention as well. He just spams, draws enough attention for Ins to swing for 3. And that might just be the 15th round unless Encore pull out a miracle.
Yeah, you can see that Sterling missed the AWP shot as well. Versa at least able to soften things up by finding 2 in mid.
There it is.
Greyhound not expecting a little lurk to come out from the sub of Versa. And now, is it an overheat from Sicko? It is. Savage to find his 25th frag. And it's a 1-on-2 for aliStair. He went in with 2 flashes, playing a deep line at the temple of A. No damaging utility. Now 1 versus 2.
Oh! So close to the lineup, and Savage between a rock and a hard place, but will flash his way to safety and has a little bit of space to get this plant down as well. Ali, you can see him shooting, spamming, throwing bloody everything, and Savage in the open.
Good flash.
Gonna be half blind. Great util, great retake, and Ali comes away with a little miracle of his own. I think it was a miracle he didn't get that collateral though.
I definitely agree with you. You know, CS2, maybe that works. CSGO here, maybe not, but that's 15 secured in stone for Greyhound. Look at the money, though. You know, it's always going to be a little bit easier of a buy on the T side of things, but not when you're sitting at about 3,500 and even less for the rest of the guys. This is going to be Galil's at best. You might see an AK from someone if they want to forgo utility, but it would have had to have been Sterling or Savage still. This is still, you know, it's not completely great for Greyhound either, right? They've got Sicko down onto the MP9. The rest of them are actually pretty good, so let us see how this one turns out, I guess. Encore. I bet you they could feel it.
Well, there goes Liki already. And that aggression towards tunnel side has not worked out at all. And Encore, knowing that their best chance is probably sticking together here. Savage even taking up the Mackie. Given Hatz the AK. I wonder what's going on here. Maybe Hatz is going to be going in first, looking for an entry.
Well, there's 4 smokes, right? So they can smoke off cave and they can smoke off all entries into the site. So if they use 3 for blocking the flashes of Sterling to try and get in, you're then probably hoping that it's you know, sick one ins from our POV that don't have any mollies and such to hold time. And that's probably like the best idea for Encore, actually. The flashes and the smokes in. Maybe if they forgo the cave one as well, try and just force ins back off the line and you've got a little lurk from Savage.
Oh, in come the flashes. Perfectly timed with a couple of smokes of their own to play around, buy the extra time for the rotations. ali's not budging just yet, and Ins, he's found that first pick and the second. Indomitable, it seems, as Sicko goes through for the trade, and Savage, Mac 10, a dream, but it looks like he's smelling that lower bracket.
That was their smoke too, Mac, at that cave, the one that faded first. That was a T-sided smoke that they threw early on.
10 seconds remain. And Ali, he'll fall. There's a world with 18 in the clip. And Savage wins that second duel. Still, look, you'd say there's a chance, but there's no time. And that's going to be that. Grayhound put 16 on the board and a second map in the bag. And they are going to be moving on to the upper bracket final. Of course, Encore, they're not out just yet. There is going to be that lower bracket to play through. And of course, we got that upper bracket final coming through a little bit later on today. Vertex.